Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. This is not a series. Welcome to another Wartilyo video. My name is Lance, and tonight I am joined by.
Hello, my name is Dennis.
Yep. So tonight I am joined by Dennis David, and we are here to celebrate a momentous occasion, the very important finally, like the release of the Battlescroll,
Yeah,
which was supposed to come out mid-December, and it's
this
out
got yeah,
right after Valentine's.
this got memed to death for the past few weeks now.
Yes, pretty much. If you were on Twitter or in any kind of social media pertaining to Age of Sigmar, everyone and their mother is just really into this battle scroll, and it's finally out, and it's actually really meaty. To be
Mm-hmm.
fair to them, this they
Mm-hmm.
left this in the oven for a lot longer, and
Yep,
it is very cooked.
it shows. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes, and I think let's go over the changes for now, and we'll give you like we'll have this discussion, I guess, of what are the big significant changes from this
Mm-hmm.
scroll.
All
Okay.
right, let's do it.
So right off the bat, we're going to the magenta stuff. Sorry, not pink, magenta. We're painters. We should know colors. This is the big change here is that Wizard Finders of Antor, Magic Hunters, adds the following paragraph.
Mm.
Each time a unit in the battalion is affected by a spell, you ignore the spell in a roll of 5 up. This is actually pretty massive because in addition to having +1 attack whenever they attack a wizard, they get spell immunity of basically everyone's corn.
Yeah, yeah. This battalion used to be something of a niche pick sometimes. Yeah. But with the
Yeah.
spell ignore, it might be picked more often now. Um, so one of our Wartilyo members, Nico, talked about um, how he missed this update since our last GT, right? He had his Squig herd in a Wizard Finders battalion, but he says that it should have been an easier time for him if he had this ability. Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of his matchups. Did he fight anything with like big magic? Not really.
not
Nothing
really, no.
super like oppressive.
Yeah,
No.
true.
So maybe it would have been easier for him, but I think we're at that weird point where GW is trying to scale back on magic being so dominant,
Hmm.
and it's kind of highlighted by this next battle tactic. Drain their power. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn. If a friendly hero with a nullstone adornment is contesting an objective that was controlled by your opponent at the start of your turn, which is basically conquer, but with
Yeah,
a nullstone adornment.
this is very interesting, right? Because I don't know what armies would rather take like Nullstone Adornment instead of like Arcane Tome. There are very
Yeah.
few armies that would, I think.
So so the armies that would traditionally do this are Corn,
Corn for
Fire
sure.
Slayers. Yeah. Corn, Fire Slayers, to
Maybe
an extent, Ogre Maw
Gargants.
Tribes. Yeah, Gargants is the big one.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Like so, Gargants and then Ogre Maw Tribes. Those are the ones that would usually pick an Arcane Tome just so they can do magical dominance.
Yeah.
And I think though that this tactic is not a good tactic for first turn. If you're a low drop, if you're a high
Yeah.
drop army and
Yeah.
your opponent gives you
For
first,
sure.
this does not replace magical dominance
For
though.
sure. For sure.
So yeah, so these armies will all have to hope that their book tactics will have some way around it. I think in
Hmm.
particular, this doesn't help Corn too much because what Corn would normally do is they would pick a wizard ally
Hmm.
and then use magical dominance for a turn one
You're right.
tactic. But now they're going to have to rely probably on surround and destroy if they
More
take the
on that
first turn.
later, right?
Yep. More on those changes later. We have a browse through this, but we haven't really talked about this
Yeah.
in super detail.
So the
So
thing with
during the round,
this, yeah. So the thing with this
you no sorry go.
is, yeah. Um, I don't know. I think it's a good tactic if you're going second in the first turn, especially if you're taking something like Ogre Maw Tribes or Gargants, right? Um,
Yeah.
I don't know if the more popular Ogre builds rely on having low drops, but with Gargants you can have like maximum, at most 2 drops, um,
Yeah.
which is pretty good if even if you're not taking Arcane Tome for magical dominance. Um, yeah.
With does do these changes make you want to take a Nullstone Adornment instead of Arcane Tome?
Um, for the tactic, yes. If I'm going for something like base Sons of Behemoth, like
Yeah.
non Army of Renown, I think I would, just because this tactic is way better than all of the other book tactics that we have. So it's pretty easy
Okay.
to do, yeah.
Okay. Do you think it just gives you a free tactic though if you're Broad Stomp?
It does. The thing with
My
Broad
God.
Stomp is that you have two easy tactics already, so I
Yeah.
guess it won't hurt if you have another one in the pocket, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think they're trying to clamp down on Big Wa having easy tactics, and now
Mm,
I feel like there's a lot of talks about Gargants again, so that's kind of
yeah,
exciting.
yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Nice. So like next change is in Power Flux. Instead of scoring a for every wizard killed in the turn, it is now scoring a wizard kill, or so an extra point for killing a wizard hero
Hmm,
at the end of each battle round.
right.
So for only one. So they're trying to clamp down on the amount of points you can score for killing wizards in general. Okay.
Yeah,
Nothing super
straightforward, yeah.
spectacular about that. All right, there's a lot of pink on this red. What changes can we do we see here
Okay,
for
so we
chaos?
have for Blades of Corn, we have Hatred of Sorcery. So, add the following. Each time a friendly unit casts a spell, you must roll a dice. On a 5 plus, that spell is automatically unbound. So this
That
actually
is
a
freaking insane.
this is a debuff. But
I think
it's
it
not
makes
one,
sense.
yeah, it makes sense for
No, it's not
Corn.
one. It's not one that.
It's not one that really hurts the army as much. I don't know. Maybe if
Um,
you really like your Bella
uh,
cores, maybe for magical
I think it
dominance.
does hurt the army. I think it hurts the army because magical dominance does fix the army
That's
for
true.
you,
First turn,
and it
right?
also hurts the spawn corn build. It basically kills it.
Mm,
You can
okay.
no longer reliably cast spells. You lose Bellacore or consistency with Bellacore. You no longer can pair Bronze Flesh with Mystic Shield on a single
That's true.
army.
That is true.
Yeah, and I think this makes a lot of sense. It is a much more elegant solution, I think, than straight up saying you can't include wizards. Because what if you want to put Archeon in the army for thematic purposes? That would be restrictive.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
too bad.
That's true.
But yeah, I think this is a good and deserved nerf for Corn.
So with this debuff, I guess, or nerf, what's a good first turn tactic for Corn now?
For me, I would have to rely on Surround and Destroy or
Oof.
Intimidate the
Okay.
Invaders, both of which
Right.
are very difficult because it makes you super exposed to your
Yeah.
opponent, especially if you get double turned.
Hmm. Okay.
So I think Corn will have to play around it, or maybe they will develop a style where they drop the tactic on turn one,
Right.
which is also kind of tough,
Yeah, because you're fighting from behind. Yeah.
pretty much.
Okay. So moving on,
Mhm.
we go to Maggotkin of Nurgle. Sloppity Bile Piper. There's an update for that. Change.
Yep,
My love is like a ripe fart to subtract
the
one
greatest.
from hit rolls for attacks that target friendly Nurgle demon units wholly within 14 of any friendly Sloppity Bile Pipers playing this tune. I have no idea what this was supposed to be
So
worded as
this is
before.
actually this is a massive debuff.
Hmm.
So this used to be the one where you couldn't pile into Nurgle demons.
Oh no. Okay, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I like
so
this change.
yeah, no, this change is massive. I think that this does hurt like Slanesh or certain armies that require consistency in dealing damage.
Right.
But the thing where you stop piling was really ambiguous,
Hmm.
and it created a lot of negative play experiences for people.
Hmm.
I think this does remove a lot of what Nurgle can do, but it doesn't destroy the army. I think it just makes
That's
the
true.
army more interactable.
It's true. I'd rather take the -1 to hit than not getting to pile in. To be honest.
Yeah, I remember getting stun locked before because my Maw Crusher is a 1 inch reach, and
Oh
Nico's
man.
Nurgle guys had 2 inch reach, and then they're like, "Oh, you just can't pile into me, lol."
Oh.
It
Horrible.
was that was very painful. It was freaking terrible.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we move on to
Mm-hmm.
Beasts of Chaos.
Yeah.
Increase the range of Hacking Blade and paired Hacking Blades to 2 inches for Gores. And then for Sangors, we increase the range of their weapons to 2 inches. That's an interesting change.
They fixed it. They fixed Beast of Chaos.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
S
the
tier
biggest
now.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
obviously.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Push it.
moving on to Skaven, we have an
Mm-hmm.
update to the new battle tactic, Flee Flee. So it's updated to be 2 or more friendly Skaven units retreated this turn. You complete this battle tactic.
Uh-huh.
So that used to be something like 1 hero and 1 battle line must retreat this turn. So now it's just any 2 of them, which makes this even easier than before.
Yeah. This is objectively
Yeah,
easier now. So okay, that's really interesting. Now you don't have to put a hero in harm's way, which I think is more thematic.
that's true. Or you can just yeah, you can just charge with 1 hero and then retreat with it. So, ooh,
Hmm.
okay.
Okay.
So next is an update to the Plague Monks pitch battle profile. They people have been asking for this. Change the unit size to 20. So it's now from
Keep
90 points, 10 models, to 180 points for 20 models.
Why have
So,
people been asking for this?
um, generally because Skaven's looking for a lot of reinforcement points. Actually, people in
Mm-hmm.
some discords have asked that, or not asked, like have a wish list that you know we're able to go over the maximum reinforcement points. So now with this update, I guess some people might be happy with it. But yeah, plague monks
Are you
aren't really getting used right now, so it's just a weird change to me.
are you happy with this?
I'm kind of neutral to it. Not really a
Oh,
big
okay. Okay, all right.
not really a big like pestilence player,
Plague
so
Monk fan.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Maybe Eagle's more into it, but
yeah, so the weird thing about this is that I have like 30 monks. And, I have to
oh,
build 10
did they
more.
always get sold in batches of 10?
No, they're sold in 20s, but I kit bashed some of them to say censor
Oh, okay.
bearers, so now they're in an awkward number. So.
Oh shit! Now you have an illegal unit
Yeah.
somewhere
Anyway,
there.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Demon Prince changes for Slaves to Darkness. We have its attacks characteristic got updated to 7, 7, and 12. From what? 5, 5, and 10, I think.
Yeah, I think it used to be 5, 5, 10. Yeah. So
Okay.
this is just a straight buff,
Mm.
150 point unit that slaps a bit harder. There.
Okay.
So with 12 attacks and no rend, if you're fighting a low armor unit, that is two
Yeah.
damage each. That's a potential
Oh,
24 damage.
that's pretty
Actually,
cool.
yeah, I think it. I don't think it was 8, 10 attacks. I think it was like far less than that. But
Oh
then
wow. Okay.
no, I feel like these were far less than 7 and 12. I can't remember the exact number anymore, and I updated my app so I can't check.
Yeah, I mean,
But this is a straight buff, and people are considering it now. And I think
okay.
Nurgle demons might pop up more often.
Nurgle. Interesting.
Nurgle demon princes,
Right.
because there's a lot of like onus on turning off ward saves now.
Yeah, that's true.
So
One of
Nurgle
the
demon's gonna be
demon.
really good.
Is that like
Yep.
a heroic action on the Demon Prince?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Okay,
And the
moving.
yeah,
Yeah,
and the core
moving
demon
on.
prince can heal himself.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Moving
Yeah.
on to Disciples of Zinch. Zangors. Okay, same as the Beast of Chaos, Zangors. And then
Lol.
Horrors of Zinch. Change to battle line if the unit contains no blue horrors and no brimstone horrors. If the unit contains no pink horrors, change the points cost to 120. If the unit contains no pink horrors and no blue horrors, change the points cost to 80. Okay.
Oh, that's
Hmm.
really interesting.
This is the first time I'm reading
Okay.
about this. I think pink horrors are at
So
250, right? Or something like
yeah,
that.
pink horrors are 250.
Yeah.
So they're giving you the option of just playing blue horrors
Hmm.
at 120 and just brimstones at
Right.
80.
Hmm. Okay.
And their battle line. So
Right. It gives
it's
you
giving
that
Zinch.
flexibility.
Hmm.
Okay.
I actually think blue horrors at 120, if next to a greater demon that gives -1 to hit, that's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
relatively respectably tanky.
There's like, how many wounds is that? 20 wounds, right? For like 10, a total of 20 wounds for 10 blue horrors.
Yeah, 10 blue
Yeah.
horrors. Yeah, it's
Okay.
10 blues, and then it doesn't
Interesting.
split anymore.
Yeah,
It goes straight to brims.
it's true.
Okay, I
Okay.
wonder. Lots of brimstone horrors would be an interesting. No,
But
it
yeah,
sounds interesting. Yeah,
yeah. Let's
like
see.
you
Let's
get
see
to
if
your
this use this new rule.
yeah. This is a very weirdly specific change. I'm
Yeah,
not zinch enough to know if this is huge, but
that's true.
okay, more flexibility. It makes the army more accessible. You just buy
Yeah,
blue and brimstones. You don't have to buy like the whole shebang anymore.
that's true. Actually, it makes you curious how they thought of like this specific change, right? Like where did it come from?
Well, well, this is post LVO, and they've had 3 months to work through stats for
Mm.
this, and Zinch has not been doing well, despite the fact that this
Fair.
is like the wizard meta. So maybe this is a request because Zinch is very expensive. The army is very
That's
small. They
true.
lack wounds,
That's
so
true.
this might be why. Okay,
Okay.
cool. Vanquishers increase the range of celestial greatswords to 2 inches. No one cares. Everything else is still better, I think. Now this is the meaty ones.
Yeah.
Celestial Lord of Celestial Resonance has been changed so that you only receive 2 cosmic power points for the first um, successful spell cast, Unbind or Dispel.
Oof.
So what used to happen was if you had a slan with 3 spells,
Yeah.
you would cast Chronomatic. You'd find a way to cast Cogs to get an extra spell. You get 8 Cosmic Resonance points off the
Sheesh.
bat just from that.
Yeah.
And then during your own turn, sorry, during your opponent's turn, you'd use one of your 3 dispels to dispel a Chronomatic Cogs for 2 points. So it's like 10 points
Mm.
straight up from one casting phase.
Yeah.
And this reduces it from 10 to like 6, I believe. Yes, 6 for all that same effort.
Yeah. Like, or
Actually, no,
something
that's
like
a lie. I
7.
think
I think that's 7.
7, 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
7 is the right number. You're right. So this actually eats into the what I sometimes feel as having tried Starborn recently,
Mm.
a fairly fragile game plan. Because if you get unbound a lot,
Yeah.
and if you fail to unbind things, you kind of break the tempo of just straight up summoning units while murdering everything,
Right.
which is what makes Starborn so strong. So I think this is a very welcome change. This was really powerful.
So,
Croxigor have moved to 5. Sorry,
yeah.
yeah?
Do you
What's your
think that
question? My bad.
Starborn will still take this command trait now?
I think Shaman of the Chilled Lands will actually
Be a better
give
choice.
this a lot of run for its money now.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
The Starborn will need to change the way it plays. I can even imagine a Starborn build without Croak.
Oh,
That's how
shit.
bad it is.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, we can get to that later when we look at point changes.
Okay.
But that's my take. It's a very hot take. I can still
Yeah,
see
yeah.
Starborn being very good, but between this and Wizard Finders, it's really hard for
Yeah.
Starborn to go to a tournament with 5 rounds and be
man.
like, yeah, I won't beat these shitty matchups. It's okay.
You're
And
right.
it's like and it's corn Wizard Finder.
Okay.
And then they finally made Croxigor's 5 wounds. This is a particularly good thing for Coalesce, which reduces damage. But
Yeah.
I don't know if this makes Croxigors competitive. I think it makes them an interesting option. They now they count as 2 for points now.
That's true.
So yeah, I still think that they're a bit soft and not good enough for what they do. But who knows? Could be wrong. Sharathon might have to change a lot given what happened here.
That's true.
For Cities of Sigmar,
Ah.
a very expected debuff, unfortunately, for all the people who bought Fusiliers. While unit has blazing weapons, each unmodified hit roll 6. For an attack made by that unit with a melee weapon causes 1 mortal wound to the target in addition to any damage it inflicts.
Damn.
Yup. So we had like a solid 3 months of being of oppressive COS shooting, and then now it's gone.
Right.
Have
Okay.
you've played against COS quite a bit? How do you feel about this change?
Um. I can say that the pre-nerf one is a bit degenerate, to be honest.
Okay.
But with this one, I don't know. I think it. I don't think any COS build will make use of this except for like Steel Helm spam. maybe, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. This is also not a racist spell, so I can see people using Blackguard or anything with like a lot of attacks
Mm-hmm. Ah,
in
yes,
melee.
that's
But
true.
this is
That's
hard.
true.
But this is so hard because now you need to move the Warforger around with a unit,
Mm.
and if that unit charges, it's very easy for them to
Yep.
not be wholly within 12 of a Warforger
Yeah.
unless you position like a god.
Mm.
So this feels like a defensive buff, or a buff you use when countercharging.
Yep.
So it's very difficult. I think this buff makes sense, but it does neuter very specific builds that people just came up with recently. So I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah. Might also push
Sorry, JP.
the might also
Do
push
what?
the COS meta into different directions too. So,
Yeah, I think the book being so unbalanced, this is a good change
mm.
overall. All right. So for Fuethan, instead of having exploding sixes or having two attacks for every 6 day roll to hit, the attack goes straight to
Hmm.
wounding.
Okay.
I think this is a straight nerf.
Huh. They're usually wounding
Yeah.
on 3 plus, right? Huh. What's up?
Yeah.
I don't know the math on that, but
Okay. So okay, so the math on that is this: if you roll one die, and let's say it's a six, either you negate needing to roll a three up,
ah,
or you have two dice where you roll
right.
three up.
That's
And
true.
if you roll two dice, probability wise, one of them is going to go through anyway.
That's true. That's
There's also a
true.
chance that neither of them go through. But I think that with a unit as swingy as Alopex's, they were relying on that the
Yeah.
fact that whenever they attack, you have to respect the potential volume that comes out of it.
Hmm.
So it's very difficult.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. And then Tsunami of Terror. Um, pick up to 3 enemy units within range and visible to the caster. I think this change in wording is more reflective of a change into core rules,
Yep.
which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
For Fire Slayers, they made spamming the units more viable because one of their issues with they had was they would have big blocks, but they only have a reach of 1 inch.
Yeah.
So now they can fight in two ranks, which I think is very good. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes Fire Slayers viable, but it makes them okay.
Hmm.
All right, nothing super hot from there. Okay, Grand
Okay.
Line's death, more of your thing.
Yeah.
What happened here?
So, for Night Haunt, we have increased to the ranges of the weapons for Blade Guys, Tyrants, and Stalkers, which I think after the Galician Veteran season,
Yeah.
Night Haunt players were clamoring for it basically. So there you go.
No, yeah, I think they were good for like one season, and then when Champions came out, they basically got completely shafted.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
So
this is a good change.
it's true.
Oh,
One of
big one.
one of the biggest nerfs to Null Myriad. Oh, to OBR, I mean. Null Myriad
Mm-hmm.
now ignores the spells on a 4 plus, but they also gave it a buff wherein you don't need to be wholly within 9 of Arcan or any of the Mortisan heroes. So um, I don't know if I'm going to pick this over a 2 plus, even with the wholly within 9 restriction, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. So to me, Null Myriad is pretty much dead. I'd rather take something else.
It had its time in the sun.
That's true.
Which of the big lords was Null Myriad again? Was it Arcan?
Arcan, yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So okay, that's interesting. So I feel like as time went on, besides Starborn Seraphon, I didn't really see a lot of Disciples of Zinj. I didn't see a lot of spellcasting
Mm,
damage.
yeah,
So Null Myriad and Korn might have had a huge hand in discouraging people from doing that.
that's true.
And while they're nerfing wizards to the ground through Wizard Finder, nerfing Seraphon, they're also like removing some of the stuff that hard countered them, which I
Yeah.
think is good.
Yep. Yep. Okay. And
Okay, and
this is the last one, right? For death.
yeah,
Grasping Dead for Soul
yeah, it's
Blight.
the last one. Yeah,
Change to Grasping Dead Battle Tactic 2. Pick one friendly summonable unit within 3 inches of any enemy units. You complete this tactic if
Mm-hmm.
any enemy models were slain by that friendly unit this turn, and that friendly unit is within 3 inches of any enemy units at the end of this turn. Interesting.
Yeah, this one's nuts. So it used to be a freebie, and now it is one where it needs a secondary condition because most
Yeah.
of the new tactics require some secondary condition. Them
Mm.
needing to kill a model makes this thing a lot more challenging,
Right.
especially if you're fighting elites like Storm Drake Guard or like even
Yeah.
some ogres. It becomes really tough to
Yeah.
confirm this. It's not an auto pass anymore, which I
That's
think
true.
is a welcome change.
Yeah.
Soul Blood so broken. I mean, their tactics are easy at least. So
Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
yeah, okay. So next. This one, okay, Destruction. I'm gonna talk about like three of them, and Dennis will handle the Sons of Behemoth one because he's Sons General. So this change for
Right.
the two battle tactics from the previous scrolls for Sneak Up and for That's Our Turf Now. You can only pick the tactic if your general, the model picked to be your general is Cruel Boys or Iron Jaws, respectively. And this
Right.
is a very big change because Big Y used to have like four tactics that were very easy to do. It would be these two, and then you'd get Intimidate, and then you'd get the one where you have 24 WA
Yeah,
points,
that's
and
so
then
weird.
yeah, and then you just get led to the Maelstrom, and you're basically done. You get it's five free tactics, and I think them limiting it, this nerf feels very deserved,
Right.
so it's good. I think they're still gonna go with like maybe a Cruel Boys general. So I think they'll still go with an Iron Jaws general, maybe a weird nuts teleport for the WoW Grand
Mm,
strat, but this
right.
is a good change. There's no big WoW players in our meta right now, in the Philippines at least, so be interesting to try honestly,
Mm.
but this is a good change. Next, the best change that I've been looking forward to since they announced what Tusk Bosses did or what Mograntas did. Instead of removing momentum every turn, it's now every round.
Yeah.
Thank freaking God. No, this was so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh man, I lose a
Imagine.
prior roll. I'm back to one momentum.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Imagine like charging and then g- uh go getting weaker every turn. Ugh.
No, it's really bad. Like I did the math on it. Every time I played a Malgranta and I lost the prior roll, they basically got depowered to like
Yeah,
base level.
that's true.
Like when even though nothing's happening, it's really
Mm.
annoying. So this gives them some staying power, and as long as they're not actually stuck in combat, they actually have ways to get out now,
Mm, mm, mm.
which is really good.
More on the more Grantas later.
Yeah, I know, right? So, what do you think of this change over here with Earth Shaking Roar?
Okay, so an update to that. So basically, the earth-shaking roar was that you roll a 2d6 and then you compare it with the bravery of the unit that you're targeting that has wounds characteristic of 1 or 2, and then the difference between that and your roll is the number of models that flee. But an update to this is that they added roar to this monsters rampage, which is just freaking awesome.
I mean, it is Earth Shaking Roar, right?
Yeah.
So, oh my god.
So,
I also like how they clarified that it's no longer counted as a battle shock test.
right. Yeah.
So you can't indomitable your way out of this.
It is true. So, yeah, having access to double roar is pretty good.
No, it's pretty crazy. So, so yeah, do you think this will tip the scales in favor of you playing generic Sons of Behemoth or any of the tribes versus King Broadstorm?
I want to try it for sure. Um, the 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 2d6 roll now must um your 3 plus must be successful first before you get to do the 2d6 roll, which doesn't really happen that often, if you ask me, because having something like a
Yeah,
bravery 6, maybe 1 or 2 will flee, or maybe nothing.
yeah,
So really, the second roar is what it's all about.
yeah. It's also weird because you need to roll the die in order to roll the set of. So it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like the most elegant change, but it is
Mm.
definitely a powerful change.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of like a situation like I can think of like a big scuffle where you're engaged to two different units and then you roar them both.
Yeah, I
Man,
can
that's gonna be
imagine.
huge.
Yeah, I can imagine taking something like a Beast Smasher, and then when you're beside an enemy hero, you get to do um, yeah, um, two monsters rampages, and then you roar the other units beside him. Yeah, so they won't
No.
hit as hard. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So overall, like all the battle scroll changes, I think that all of these changes make sense.
Mm,
There is not a single change here that I like hard disagree with.
right.
Is there anything
Uh,
here that you find like kind of weird with what like G Dubs is doing so far?
yeah, nothing comes to mind to be honest.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. The Nurgle one came out of was a
Yeah,
pleasant surprise,
yeah.
completely unexpected. And of course, with the battle scroll also comes with like the biggest swing in changes in points that we've
Yeah.
seen, like in any battle scroll, I believe.
Hmm.
So, what are the ones that stand out to you? Look at
Um,
all this green though. Holy shit!
yeah. Probably Fire Slayers, like buffs all around. I don't know if
Where are
that,
they? Oh, here they are.
yeah, I don't know if it helps with their viability, but it will. I mean, it will help, but hopefully it reflects in their wins now. Um,
Yeah. The Doom Seekers being 70 points each is really interesting because there was a popular Fire Slayer build where
mm,
people just spam Doom Seekers, and now
yeah.
this is even more obnoxious. Hearthguard Berserkers going down 10 is good.
Yeah.
I don't know what a Zagron Flame Spitter is.
I have no idea either. It's 40 points. Wow. Okay.
From okay, yeah, I feel like that's an endless invocation. I
Okay.
get the feeling that no
Right.
one uses. Battlesmith 10 points is big. There anything with a magma drought going down by 10 to 20 is also kind of big.
Mm.
Overall, I think Fire Slayers has some interesting potential, especially if you factor in the new battle tactic that they have
Yeah. Yeah.
and the the Drought Seekers. It is very subtle, but they have a Monsters Rampage that can turn off ward saves, and they have
Ooh.
that new unit, the ones that gets eggs.
Yeah.
They can turn off Monsters Rampages, and with Belfanos and like Ionas
Yeah.
and the Gargants coming
Gargants.
out
Yeah.
and Mograntas. There are so many different sources of Monsters Rampage now that I
Yep.
feel like there is going to be potential for Fire Slayers to have a niche in the meta for stamping out something.
That's true. Even Nurgle's current build is mostly like Guos, right?
Monsters now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and being able to stomp out the auto 4 wounds is big.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So based on the for Cities of Sigmar, this is the latest like book that came out.
Right.
They reduced the cost of Warforger, which is good because they removed one of the major reasons, which is good.
Yep.
Talia going down by 40
40
points
points. Yeah.
is they're begging people to just put Talia in their armies.
I mean, it's a new model, so.
Yeah, the command core being 200 points, thank God. It used to be like
Once.
180 points for 15 wounds that had
Mhm.
like so much utility.
Yep.
And from Whisperblade to Somni, Corpus Somni, like this thing was really strong.
Mhm.
Wilder Core Hunters down by 10, that's pretty good too. The Steam Tank nerf came from the LVO,
Yep.
obviously. So that's all pretty big. I disagree with any of these changes because I kind of don't really.
Nah. Nah. Fine with those.
Morathi is down to 680 points from 700 because DOK has not been relevant as an army for
Yep.
almost a year now, which is
It's true.
unfortunate. Um, Lumineth got point reductions all around, which I think is
Yeah.
interesting.
Even Sentinels.
Man, I'm actually really okay with that. Sentinels going down.
Hmm.
Um, Nagash is finally sub 900 points. He's like 860 now. Playable? Would you play Nagash?
uh, I don't know, man. 800. I used to play something like Storm Fiends at like 900 something points, but they can delete anything you point them at. But Nagash,
Yeah.
I don't know. 860 points for Uber utility maybe. Might be fun to try though.
Okay. Fair. I think one of the best ones for me for sure is that all the Orc War Clan changes. Like Finally, the Maul Grunta goes down by like 20 points.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to go down to 170, but 160 is very much welcome. And then you have a Tusk Boss at 350.
Yeah.
Gordrak is cheaper than his
That's
unnamed
true.
counterpart. So the Maw Crusher is like 450, while Gordrak is 440. That's how freaking pathetic he is. Art Boy Big Boss goes down by 10. That's huge because no one and their mother uses Art Boy Big Boss. With Art Boys themselves going down to 200 now, I think there is possible play for an Art Boy build now. Just because they're so wound dense and have a 3-up save. And there's so many things you can do with Iron Jaws.
Tusk Boss at
I've still never used
350.
Zograt.
What do you think of
The
that?
Tusk Boss and Malgrunta.
And the more
I think it could be cheaper. I would make the. So here's the problem. So the Malgruntas are going to be 320 points if you reinforce them. And
Right.
it's cheaper than a 350 point Tusk Boss. That's 24 wounds compared to 14. Now,
Yeah.
given that the Tusk Boss has different abilities and a 3-up save and can issue orders, I still feel like it needs to go down a bit more in points.
Right.
But I would run one.
Okay.
But
That's fair.
it wouldn't make sense for me to run like. I would probably try the Tusk Boss and like 2 units of reinforcements. It sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I give that a try. Art Boys are good. The Monster Killers go down by 5. Hooray, GW. Killer Boss and Stab Grot being 80 point, no one really care. I mean, it's okay, I guess. Point nerfs all around the Aura Core clans is good. I think this will put Iron Jaws back into like public consciousness.
Right.
OBR had some interesting changes. How do you feel about these?
Yeah. The Morghast had it coming, to be honest.
That bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
10 points is surprisingly. I was expecting it to be like something of around 20 points increase, but 10 is an okay change. Xantos going down by 10 because no one takes him.
Sad. Are you gonna take him now that he's 180 instead of 190?
Maybe, but he only works in a specific subfaction, Mortis Praetorian. So,
Okay.
yeah. Vokmortian at -20 because also nobody takes him. So, although I do take him from time to time just for the lulz, but yeah, it's a welcome change. KO though.
Yeah. Lol.
Red all
Look at
around.
this. Look at this shit.
Ironclad going down by 20. Yay, hooray. Fixed the army.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's like, stop spamming frigates, guys. Please take the Ironclad again. We want to sell Ironclads. I think the Navigator needs to be higher than this. The Navigator's
That's
way
true.
too good for
Yep.
for its pointage.
Yep.
I would even put it at 150, and I'd still play. I'd still see people playing it.
Yeah, the read the winds mechanic is too strong.
It's super stupid.
Yeah.
Half movement on a roll of 1, you roll 6
And that's
dice.
like
And I think there's a way to
30-inch
reroll
range.
it, right?
Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, you
It's
can
really
reroll
broken.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Zami's gonna be happy. Slanesh is basically like the melee version of Slanesh is super viable now.
Let's go.
Like everything here went down by so much. I was expecting Glutos to go down, but I guess not really. This is a lot of changes though, and Feck had point reductions. Some people believe that Feck worked very well because everything was undercosted, and they reduced the points of several units. So I don't know how to feel.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen any oppressive Feck, although I know Nico's building Feck, so well, good luck to all of us, I guess. Not looking forward to it, but it is okay. More games, more happiness, all that jazz. Okay. And next page. Seraphon, Croak goes up by 30. Slan Star Master goes up by 20. Starlet Astro Bearer goes up by 20. Skink Starseer goes up by 10. So if I built my Starborn list again, when I had 2 Starseers, a Star Master, a bear, an Astro Bearer, and a Croak, this goes up by 20,
100?
40,
80
60,
like
90 actually.
90. Oh.
It goes up by 90.
Oh man.
And I was at 2,000 points flat.
Oof.
They're really trying to push Coalesced so much. Look at all these point reductions. Stegodons are at 240, and at Coalesce, you basically have to hit them twice.
Yeah. Although some Coalesced builds take Croak as well, so that's also hit. But I guess with the points reductions, they won't feel it as much. Um,
No, it is actually kind of crazy. This is like Seraphon. I think Seraphon is still good,
mm, mm,
but it's so. But this is like a hit piece on this whole battle scroll has been a hit piece on Seraphon.
that's
But the
true.
average person sees this as reasonable, so it's really funny. I think.
I don't know
Um,
if anyone will take the
yeah,
Ripperdactyls or the Pterodons though, even with the points reductions.
the Pterodon riders are actually good. The
Oh,
Pterodon chief is
right,
like actually good at like killing heroes,
right. So you'd
and
probably
he had a
take
movement of
one.
16.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. So Pterodon chief rider is interesting, and you can take it to starboard, give it like Arcane Tome or something. Just
right.
add more cosmic power points at the
There's
start.
skinks,
It
right?
moves 16. Yeah, it's a skink.
Okay.
So it's a skink on a Pterodon. You can use Hunters of Wanchi to make it move 16. Then it moves 16 on its own. So it
Yeah,
moves 32 inches in one turn with the right spell. You don't even need to teleport it. It's really
that's true.
good. Like
Um,
it's there to score your tactics or snipe weak heroes.
mm, mm. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so I see interesting potential for other things, but the super toxic starboard Seraphon build is dead. They also not mentioned here, maybe we won't cover it, but they reduced the range of the explosion of Maelstrom to 9 inches instead of
Yeah.
12, which is massive.
Yep.
Just a little more counterplay now. Okay, this is the interesting one. What do you think of the Skaven changes?
Uh, that's that's a welcome one for sure. But some of these are expected, like sensor bears going up by 10. Actually, 10 isn't so bad to be honest. You
Right?
yeah, it's this. I thought it was going to be like 20 or 30 points increase, but okay. Yeah, great. I can still bring 15 of them for 300 points. That's a good investment. Um,
Look at this stuff. So there was actually a time when Thanquol was more expensive than.
yeah.
Look at this. This is so insane. What kind of world did we live in?
Yeah. Also, the points updates to the Vermin Lords are surprising actually. Um, Probably
I
because of the current
yeah.
meta where people are just spamming Glaciers and Screaming Bell, so they're probably trying to force people to play more Vermin Lords, I guess. Um,
Well, I actually think that the almost sorry our like roster wide reduction in wizard costs is because wizard finders get spammed a lot,
you're fair. That's true. That's true.
right? So all these wizards have spells, and it's like I'm trying to hurt this unit, but then everyone and their mother is playing wizard finder now.
Yeah, yeah. Also, they're
I mean,
kind of moving to updating some of the molder points like rat ogres, which I'm happy about.
hmm,
For some reason they reduce the points of master molder by 10, which is also good.
yeah,
Yeah, wasn't
okay.
really a big fan of the screaming build bell build, but yeah, I guess I'll start playing more Skaven now.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you've been through like OBR, Suns, and Skaven. We have like one more stretch of third edition. Oh,
Mm.
actually, well, let's talk about that later. Actually,
Yep.
when we're doing our wrap up. But I want to know your thoughts because you play a lot of armies, or you've had a lot of experience with those three armies, and those armies have had like crazy roller coaster rides over the edition.
Yeah.
So even Archie as a wizard feels it, man. He takes like a 40 point hit, kind of nice. Um, the Sons of Behemoth has a
Ooh.
big point reduction in its man crushers.
Yeah.
That's really welcome.
Yep. For sure. Um, there's an interesting. There used to be like a breakthrough quote unquote build with Sons of Behemoth before, where you take three War
Yeah.
Stompers and then four Man Crushers. So now that was the most creative thing you can do. uh,
Shit. So what is the most creative thing you can do now?
so now you can take five of them, five of the baby Gargants. So
Uh, kills your triumph bid probably, but
yeah,
you have
it's
five
gonna
man
be
crushers.
at
That's 12 extra wounds.
1970 for like three War Stompers and five Man Crushers, which is
That
still
is
okay.
so disgusting. No, it's good. It frees you up for all those tactics too.
That's true. Yep.
So that's kind of nice. Ah, shit. Actually, that sounds like fun. Honestly, Sun sounds like so much fun right now with all the
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
Uh, Soul
Okay.
Blight
So Blight.
changes. Nagash is the big one. Vordry going down 30, meaning no
Mm.
one really plays Zombie Dragon. Now, Vokmortian is. I actually don't know what Velmorn does. Do you know what Velmorn does? Because I
No,
don't.
no idea.
Okay. Oh well, we won't pretend to know. Varguys go down by 10. Blood Knights go down by 10. Felbats go up by 10.
Hmm.
You.
Blood
That's
Knights though.
interesting. So what's really interesting for me about the Soul Blight changes is I wonder if this affects or any of the undead changes. I wonder if it affects the regiments of renown.
Ooh. Phew.
Doesn't really say anything here.
I think there's a separate file for the regiments of their renown. Not sure if it got
Oh,
updated
okay.
too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can just check that later. Alariel went down by 20
Hmm.
points. Draco went down by 20. Warsong Revenant, which almost every
Yeah,
Sylvaneth
that's
list
surprising.
usually has, went down by 30. Glade Worm that no one uses went down by 10.
No.
Okay, well, Belthanos probably gives all these a run for their money, which is why they need to do that. Lord Relictor goes down by 10. Can't
Stormcast.
believe that. All these units that no one uses except Karazai and
Karazai and
Krondis. I wonder why
Krondis.
they went down by 20.
Uh, no idea either. Maybe I don't know if these points reductions with Karazai and Krondis makes you add another unit to the AOR for
Yeah.
Ionis. I don't know.
Um. Yeah, 40 points. I don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, probably not. Mm.
Probably not. But I think it does change certain things. I don't know enough. I just know that this list is a far more common now because it's such a fun list to bring to tournaments or just bring in
That's true.
general.
Yep.
Yeah. So hopefully it just makes them a little happier. But all these changes are pretty interesting so far. I feel like Skaven got away with highway murder here.
Yeah.
Because like I was expecting nerfs. I think Korn also got away. Look at Korn. It only
Yep.
Claws of Karanak goes up by 20.
Wow.
To be fair, Claws is used for a lot of things.
Hmm.
And it is important for surround and destroy, or it's important for anti-pin. It's an anti-pin
It's true.
piece of tech,
But how many
right?
Claws of
Because it's an
Karanak units do
expendable
you take in an army though?
one. Oh,
Yeah.
me, I take one,
Yeah, okay. Are there
and
lists
all
that
it does two
spam?
things. Not really spam, maybe two at most,
Okay.
I think, but
Okay.
one to two is at most. So, what it's for is use the pre-game movement to push forward so that
Right.
your opponent can't pin you in. Like
Yeah.
if you're fighting Nurgle with flies, you can do that. It's also good for surround and destroy.
Mm-hmm.
And because it does mortals upon death, you want it to die.
Right.
This is like super expendable.
Okay.
And the unit, the base of the unit, because one of the models is like a long boy, a guy in a
Yeah.
dog suit, he gets to
Pretty
like
big, yeah.
you get to spread the line super wide.
Yeah.
So that's what it's good for.
Okay. So are there any
Okay.
changes that you feel like should be included in the next one? If there's any.
I think the next one's fourth ed already.
Yeah.
But if there are changes I disagree with, I think Gemini's went up by that's so weird. I wonder why Gemini's went up by, I don't
I
know
have no
why.
idea.
I mean sure, whatever. I it's so weird because normally like a balance scroll comes up, you get a little disappointed things, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of happy with this. Like the overall like
That's true.
shift in things. Like
Yeah.
I look at this and I'm like, people besides KO and Seraphon would probably be
None.
happy.
Yeah.
Even in Seraphon players, like I don't even find Starborn to be a fun build. I've played Starborn, I've done pretty solid with it.
Yeah.
I don't find it fun.
Mm.
Yeah, it's an entire build that's hedged upon not rolling two sixes or not rolling two
Two
ones.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. Two sixes and you succeed too much. Two ones and you fail too hard. It's really bad. So
Right.
maybe people getting to play Coalesce and try other things would make the Seraphon experience more fun.
Although I do think the
Yeah.
Skaven, the popular Skaven builds will take a big hit from this because Gracier and Screaming Bell has increased by 20 points. So, and they usually take like 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's 60 points, and then you have 60 more points from the Sensor Bearers. So that's 120. Yeah.
Okay. So to put more context into this, let's go to core rules real
All
quick
right.
because these are really big fundamental changes, right? So the first one, each time an ability is used, if the effect allows multiple units to be picked Can the same unit be picked more than once? No.
There we go.
Good. So there were two. There were actually two uses of this that caused a lot of confusion. One is Tsunami of Terror, which we
Right.
talked about earlier with Idoneth Deepkin, where you
Yeah.
can pick the same unit multiple times
Debuff their saves.
and
Yeah.
3 times,
Yeah.
which is hilarious. So -3 to saves from one spell. Now this is explicitly saying you cannot do that.
Right.
And the other one was Sawbones from the Command Core, where
Right.
people would triple tap heal 3d3 heal
Heal 3D.
Fusiliers or any other unit. Super disgusting. Not intended, and they're ironing it out. This is the first sort of push to universal rules that I've seen in a long
Right.
time, and I love it.
Yeah. Makes you wonder though, like, why did it take this long for them to like update the rules to be worded this way, right?
I
Because
think it's because Command Core was egregious enough.
that's true. That's fair. And all the other effects weren't as broken as that, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. Next, when is control of the objectives and scoring of victory points done in relation to other abilities that are used at the other turn? So normally, if two things have the same initiative, you get to choose which one takes precedent, right?
Yep,
So
yep.
there is an argument to be made that if things happen at the end of the turn, you can score points first or determine that before determining control of objectives. There are ways to cheese it, especially for missions like Nexus Collapse and limited resources, where you hand your opponent control of an objective because you turn off a buff that lets you like double or
Oh.
triple your weight capacity on an objective or occupancy. I don't know what you call it. And then you give them the points.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
unreasonable and doesn't sound intended,
Yep.
but it is within the realm of possibility of believing it, given the way GW rules its games.
Right. Right.
Or has ruled this. So this
It's a
being
good change.
absolutely clear is very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Do everything first before you
Yeah.
score.
Yeah. This
Okay, yeah.
this one is a big one. This is actually a piece of tech that not a lot of players know about. Wrath of Khorne has a very interesting and specifically worded ability, Commander of Tyrants. Okay. After this unit has fought, you can pick a Bloodthirster within 16 inches
Yep.
and have them fight. It never says that the unit needs to be eligible to fight, which
Right.
means that you can trigger it even if the Bloodthirster you are activating is outside 3 inches or hasn't charged.
Oh. Wow, okay.
Yeah, this is a piece of tech that we don't see very often because we don't see Wrath of Khorne often, or people don't abuse it often.
Okay.
But this is technically possible and something that Bloodthirster players would sometimes abuse abroad.
Right. Okay.
So now it's explicit.
Is Commander of Tyrants is it like I think I remember something like this from like OBR where you fight immediately after your friendly hero,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Are those worded like Commander of Tyrants, or is this like specifically to Commander of Tyrants?
That is a fantastic question. I'm actually going to check Smashing and Bashing right now.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go on the internet real quick. Can you check like the OBR one?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me just.
Yeah, thanks. Let's just both check this because that is a really good question.
Because this
The
might apply
internet.
to like all of those.
I feel like not everything's worded as irresponsibly, but like it could be.
That's fair.
I actually wonder if the Slaves to Darkness ones are worded similarly too. So I'm just gonna go over and check on
Unflinching
this.
coordination. Yeah, OBR1 says that the friendly unit that receives a command must be within 3 inches of an enemy unit. So yes, it should be eligible to fight.
Okay, because eligible to fight and within 3 inches of an. In theory, they're two different things. I can't think of like a specific.
Fair.
I can't think of a specific thing, but
Okay.
like they are technically different.
Okay, so like for example,
Smashing and Bashing.
For example, if
Go.
somebody, if your opponent's Bellacore used his Dark Master ability before you should be able to fight, is that what it says here? Pre-update. Are you? able to
Um,
fight
no,
with this ability?
yeah, no. If with Dark Master, it stops fighting. It can't
Okay,
fight.
fair, fair.
That's
Okay,
super. Yeah, that one's kind of clear. Okay, with orcs, it needs to be within 3 inches, so it's not eligible to fight. The wording is 3 inches, so
okay,
it creates this.
yeah,
I really wish GW would just word things consistently. That
yeah.
would be super nice. Okay, I'm gonna check one more thing. It's Knights of Chaos.
Hmm.
Okay, another example of this ability is Knights of Chaos.
Hmm.
When the Karkadrak charges,
Right.
he gets strike first. In addition, if this unit has made a charge wound the same turn, after this unit has fought in the combat phase for the first time, you can pick one Chaos Knight, Chaos Chariot, or Gorby's Chariot, wholly within 12 inches of this unit that has not yet fought in that phase. That unit can fight immediately, which
Yeah.
means that they can trigger these other units to fight, even if they're not normally eligible to fight. But now
Yeah.
they do have to be eligible to
Yep.
fight.
That's also the case for Cavalier Marshal for COS. So great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually a
Good
very
change.
good rule change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So GW giving us counterplay, really good. If a unit has random move characteristic, is it generated before or after the players pick the unit to
Hmm.
run? After. Okay.
That's okay. That's a weird
Oh,
change,
to
right?
run?
Yeah. For example, you have something like the Doom Wheel, which has like 4d6 movement. So now you have to. I don't know what instances, what sort of scenario made this made GW have to clear this up. But yeah, basically you have to roll all the random dice, the random movement first, along with the run roll, I guess.
Oh, no, that makes perfect. Okay, wait. I get it now. I get why this is good.
Hmm.
You know how hmm, if a unit has a random move character, is it generated before? Okay, so you know how when we have a Gits player that uses a Mangler Squig,
Ah, okay.
let's pretend that they're deciding whether they want to run or not.
Ah, fair. Yeah, that's
So
true.
instead of having to roll the move alongside the run, you generate the random roll first, and then you
Yep,
can make a decision after that.
that's
Because
true.
it traditionally, like, remember whenever Nico would run with like a squig unit, he'd always roll the run alongside it.
Yep, yep,
This is actually a good quality of life change, even though it makes
that's
the game a
true.
little slower. It's
Yep.
okay. No, this is good.
Okay,
This is really good.
okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. No pink, no magenta. Okay, these are big. Okay, these might
Yeah.
be two of the. Oh, yeah. These are two of the biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
Some abilities allow you to roll dice to negate wound or mortal wounds, or to allocate their writing wound to a unit other than the original target. Abilities of these types are referred to as wards. So they're
Ooh,
effectively saying
yep.
that bodyguard saves are now wards, which
Yeah.
means that you can turn off bodyguard saves for Fire Slayers, Skaven, and all that
Yep.
with like Argath or a Nurgle Demon Prince, which I think
Mm.
will receive some more prominence. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. This has been like a very frequent point of discussion for, especially in our community, are like bodyguards, are they wards, or like can you ward after a bodyguard? Then all those
Oh,
discussions.
thank God.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'm really
very
glad that they
clear.
finally fixed that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I think this is how it always was meant to be. I can't believe
Mm.
they waited like 4 months before the edition changed just to
No, no.
do this.
Fourth ed.
Okay, yep. All right, next. Add the following sidebar note for Battle Shop phase. Models removed from play as a result of their unit being split have fled. Models that have fled are treated as having been slain for rules purposes, unless noted otherwise.
Right.
In addition, rules that allow models to do something like fight when slain are not triggered when the model flees.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
this is really good against Gits, Daughters of Cain, and Skaven.
Skaven. Yep.
This
Yep.
finally clears it up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so annoying. Like they ran from Battle Shock,
Yeah.
okay, move 3 inches and fight, you're dead.
Yeah.
Jesus
Oof.
Christ, this was so bad. So finally clear this up. So how do you feel about Double Death Frenzy no longer being triggered by Battle Shock?
Well, there was a previous Battlescroll update where Double Death Frenzy can't happen anymore. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so this is another quote unquote nerf to Death Frenzy. So as a Skaven player, I'm quite
Okay.
sad, but Yeah, this is a pretty good change, to be honest.
Yeah, it actually looks kind of fair.
Mm.
And it clears it up that fleeing doesn't count as slain, which is
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Add the following for spells. Some abilities allow a unit to roll a dice to ignore the effect of a spell, or ignore the abilities of an endless spell. If more than one ability would allow you to roll a dice to ignore the effect of a spell, or ignore the abilities of an endless spell, only one of those effects can be applied. The
Hmm.
player whose unit would be affected by okay, this is kind of okay. So like if I gave a
Ah,
corn unit Wizard Finders, you don't have the I can't roll for Hatred of Sorcery and I can't roll for Wizard Finders.
okay. Okay.
That's all it really means, which I think
Sure.
is fair.
Yep. Okay.
So, in the context of changing ward saves, removing fight upon death in fleeing, what do you think of the Battlescroll changes so far? I know there's like a lot of stuff in the other books,
Hmm.
but I feel like we don't really have to go through all of them because it's
Yeah.
all like very niche.
Yeah. Mostly,
What do you think of this? Sorry, what do you think?
yeah. I like most of it. Yeah. Um. No, not most of it. I think almost all of it. Um. I'm happy that they cleared up some of the wordings and phrases that people have been abusing, I guess. Have been playing wrong. Um. So yeah,
Yep.
that's good.
I
Mm,
think that this one battle scroll is going to create a very different and unique experience from
mm,
what we just experienced for the past 4 months.
right.
It flips spellcasting on its head. It gives us a
Yep.
new battle tactic,
Mm,
like a new generic battle tactic, which is kind of unheard of. It elevates one of the core battalions to being maybe as popular as I think this will be as popular as acolytes. Maybe that's kind of huge in
yeah.
this season,
Mm,
and I think they've reined in Starborn and well to an extent KO. I don't know if it'll still be as oppressive. I think Korn and Skaven got away with high.
mm-hmm.
Oroks are finally in the. There's a discussion for Oroks and Hedonites to be relevant again, which is nice. Nighthawk got a good quality of life change,
Yep.
and Soulblight got knocked down slightly, just a bit of a peg, but yeah, and they seem to be confident with the way Feck is. They're not changing anything about it. In fact, they're lowering
Mm,
point costs.
right.
I think this is a very good direction, and I think that if this is the design mentality that they have, fourth edition is going to be a really good edition.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Dude, I haven't
Wait.
played in like 3 weeks. I can't wait to play a game. I want to play like a game of AOS like soon. But I think that's all I really have to say. Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, all in all, very happy with the scroll.
Yep. So yeah, really good Valentine's Day gift from Games Workshop.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So that is about it. If you guys like this kind of content, if you guys like these kind of discussions and coverage of AOS, give us a like and give us a subscription and click the subscribe button. It really helps us out. And leave a comment for things you'd want us to see or add. Um, with that, thank you very much for joining us. Take care, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.